All right. Hello, everybody. Wagwan. What's up? This is Gavin from Order 66 Paintball and Apparel and Order 66 Flair Podcast. Welcome back, guys. Season 6, Episode 3. What? Yes. Thank you. Guys, I can't thank all my subscribers enough. Whether you listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, whatever it is, we appreciate you. We could not do this without you. So thank you for rocking with us for 6 seasons. We've got another banger here for you today. So strap in, get your mind right, get your Feel 6 together, whatever you got to do. We've got another banger here for you today. So our guests today are none other than Team Lockout, fresh off of ICPL Classic Cup, second place amateur 10-man champ. What's up? So in the lair, we've got Michael Lehman, player, captain, and coach. And we've got Maddie P, a player admin. Welcome, Maddie and Mike, to the lair, man. What's up?
Not much. What's going on yourself, Gavin? How's everything?
Doing good, man. Like, you know what I say all the time. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. Long time no see, guys.
Yeah, fucking six seasons already, Gavin.
6 seasons, bro.
Six seasons of this, man. This is probably the 5th or 6th time I've been on one of these. So wow.
Yeah.
Crazy how fast.
We started right during COVID, when COVID was popping, and there's been a lot of, trying to figure shit out and going and whatever. So, but 6 seasons, we're still here, and thank God for all our subscribers that been rocking with us. Spotify has really, really helped us grow, and then the video format seems to be working. Nice. So yeah,
the FCC hasn't caught wind yet, I guess.
No, surely not.
Right.
But we're gonna talk a lot of paintball today, guys. We're gonna talk about the season 2024 season that Lockout has had. It was a great season. There's a lot of grind and grit that went into it. But before we get into all that, you know how we break the ice here in the lair since season 1.
Forgot about this.
That's been Gavin's dad joke of the day, and as we all know, my jokes are like my paintball. You never know what the fuck you're gonna get. So, without further ado, are we ready for the dad joke of the day? All right. Here we go. Drum roll, please.
No, he's got his own sound effects.
All right.
I can't even hear anything.
All right.
It's all for the people.
All for the people. All right, guys. Valentine's Day is coming up, and actually, this episode is actually going to air on Valentine's Day, so it's perfect timing. So this is a Valentine's Day inspired dad joke. Why did the cannibal break up with his girlfriend? I see the wheels turning.
I hear the Jeopardy sound in the back of my head right now. I have no idea. Like I'm actually going to be able to figure out what this is. What is it?
Are we ready? Here we go. It's really easy, guys. She didn't suit his taste. All right, here we go. On a scale of 1 to 10, left to right, Maddie, for you, would you give that dad joke on the dad joke scale?
We're 1 to 10 now, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a 5, I guess, as far as dad jokes go.
Look at you being generous, Dad.
I am being generous. I'm your friend from Boston.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Lee? What do you give that dad joke?
I give it a solid 6.5.
Solid 6.5. All right. Well, let me go to my peoples here. Let's see what they. Yep. See, I'm a man of the people. They approve. Here we go. Boom, bang, power out the gate, guys. Like I said, long time no see. Congratulations once again to the entire Lockout family on this past season and the standings. That was definitely earned. It's been a week. It's been a week now since we've been back. How's it been like? Are you guys still soaking it in? Does it still seem surreal? We'll start off left to right. We'll start off with you, Maddie. How's everything going?
Well, my body is still suffering. At 44 years old, the bruises take a lot longer to heal. The muscles take a lot longer to feel better. Decompressing from the events. Still a little surreal. I kind of look at the hardware we brought home, and then we've started to see some of our media start to flow through from our photographer that we hired that did video and photo, and some of that video has already started to show up for us. So it's kind of cool to go back and be able to relive some of those points. But all in all, it's kind of a weird feeling. We just got back from this past weekend. Was that 2 days ago? Ref in Winter League at OX, and it was probably the biggest outpouring of like love and support and congratulations from the local paintball scene for us in Western New York. So that was touching to see as well, to know that when anyone in the community does well, the community kind of stands up for each other, right? And no matter who it is, right or wrong, whether you like the person or not, whether you like the team or not, we're always proud of our local teams being successful at the national level. So that was pretty cool.
That's true.
Absolutely.
What about you, Lehman?
At first, yeah, I would say it was a little surreal at first, I would say. But I mean, I quickly unfortunately had to move forward and look into the 2025 season. So my mind's already 3 months down the road already. So I mean, I really didn't have time to really think about it too much and take it in. But I was just overwhelmingly proud of everybody and everybody that worked in the program, everybody that was involved. It was just an amazing experience for me to see it all come together and for everybody to put all the effort in and be all on the same page. And I see more and more people on the same page. It's just great to see. I just love it in the community. And I love it in the people.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into it. So Classic Cup was at Tiki's in Tampa last week, and let's talk about the weekend. So how did the weekend start off? What was the process like? What was the preparation like? And take me through the days leading up to Sunday, and then finally like the final match. So I don't know who wants to talk about that, but I think it was a very roller coaster type weekend. I think would be the apt term to use there. So I don't know if you want to take the lead on that, Mike, and then throw it off to Maddie, but talk about that.
Yeah, so let me at least take the lead on Thursday, Friday, and I can touch it on Thursday, Friday for the 10-man event. For our 5-man, we obviously got there. Most of us got there on Thursday. Pretty much everybody on. It was actually really nice to have a large majority of the team there to walk the fields. We spent a good amount of time walking the fields, and unfortunately, at first we didn't still know what field we were playing until Friday when we started the 5-man. That's when we started to figure out what field we were going to be playing for 10-man. So we could concentrate a little bit more to the 5-man. We spent also practice for the 10-man. For the 5-man, we had yourself, Gavin Duff, we had Josh Gavner, we had Alex Andrews. Who else do we have? Myself, Kevin, Kirk, and Hookie playing in the 5-man. Unfortunately, the paint wasn't really the best that we had. And really, unfortunately, didn't end up being the best. We ended up switching later on in the day to a different brand. So we did lose some points, I think, a lot due to paint. Where I heard some stories of us bouncing guns off break in the 5-man. So that's very unfortunate. I think things would have been a little different if we would have the same paint we had in the 10-man for the 5-man. I do truly believe that. I thought we were pretty prepared. I mean, we took more ground than any team. I mean, we were in the jackal, 95% of the game, before any other team, and it didn't go our way. We're bouncing people left and right. I mean, obviously Kevin had when he said he bounced off someone's head when he bunkered him. The paint's not greatest when that happens. So that was unfortunate, but as that day went on, I mean, we learned a lot about those fields, which is great for the 10-man later on. We learned a lot about the drop shots, how hard it was in that one corner on the Mounts field, and we even kind of hesitated on that call too. We really shouldn't even sent off the break like we did even that one game. But no, I thought it was really well. I thought we were prepared pretty well. Besides not knowing the field right away, the best. This has been the best event we've been prepared for all season. I thought personally, I thought we spent the most time. We understood our game plan the most. At least everybody did across the board, and I felt like a lot of people, pretty much everybody on the team, contributed to what we wanted to do on the field, play, and perform well.
All right, Matty. What about you? Moving on from
I'll play devil's advocate. The paint on Friday sucked. I'm not gonna lie. I won't mention brand names specifically just to protect other companies. Obviously, I truly don't think it was the actual physical brand's fault that the paint was what it was. But as an observer for 5-man, I didn't play. Listening to other teams talk about playing us and watching points flow through, that 5-man event could have went drastically different as far as the standings went had they been shooting I don't want to say the correct paint, but paint that actually broke on people. I could take that paint out of the bag and squeeze it as hard as I could with my fingers and it wouldn't break. I literally took the butt of a gun and tried to squeeze it onto a table and it wouldn't break. So that was a big thing. That's you're talking 10, 15, 20 kills more you probably could have had throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
That equates to wins, especially in 5-man. So the team played well. It just you hate to blame it on equipment or something as silly as paint, but the standings would have looked tremendously different had the right paint been shot. But we were lucky enough to get that, as Lehman said, we were lucky enough to get that kind of corrected.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, thank you to the guys at Tiki's and the ICPL crew for allowing us to do that, because we had prepaid our entire weekend's worth of paint for that paint that was not shooting good. And they were gracious enough to actually let us swap to the paint that was shooting much better. So kudos to them on that. The 5-man team played great. And as Lehman said, that's just always a great look for the squad for the following days, for Saturday, Sunday, 10-man. I can't say enough about Tiki's. What an awesome place for 10. That's like 10-man heaven. Between that and Urban Assault, like the only dig I would have on Urban Assault is just so many goddamn hills, as it's walking up and down hills everywhere, right? And everything's rocky.
Yeah.
Where Tiki's is, everything is within an earshot. It's walking distance. Sand, I guess, would be my only, it's Florida sand, so it's a typical Florida field, but very little fire ants, which was nice as well.
That's all.
Yeah, in a Florida event, definitely very little fire. I don't think any of our guys actually had any issues with fire ants, which is nice. Good to hear. But to Lehman's point, as far as preparation, I've been on this team for I don't want to say a very long time, but for quite a bit now, and Lehman as well. The level of preparation this team did for this event, I wouldn't necessarily say was substantially different than any of the other events this year. I think the level of focus was tremendously more for this tournament, and he's being a little, blasé about his role in that, Lehman, when I'm saying his. And you see he's already shaking his head. People don't realize the amount of work that Lehman actually puts in to get this team to where it is. I credit a good percentage of the team's recent success at the national level, specifically just because of what him and his hand-picked group of guys within the team that help him prepare for these events. So when everyone is off in the house drinking or smoking weed or whatever they're doing to wind down at the end of the day, he's looking at field overlays and overhead shots and putting plays together and sitting down with 2 or 3 specific people talking about what's going to happen. He's shaking his head. It's true. This is actually what happens.
It's true.
Gavin, you're part of the team now, so you know this. And you may not actually see it. Sometimes it happens behind the scenes in a room where no one knows.
I've seen him and Kevin in the cut, and they're going over stuff and doing stuff, and then he's done his one-on-ones, talking to people, myself included, hey, Gavin, blah, 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 blah. And that's one of the things that, to piggyback off what you were saying, like, he does take that time to do the homework and be like, hey, this was working great, but we have some opportunities here, so let's work on this, And you got to be receptive to that and take it and work on it, So just, yeah, that is true. Just piggyback.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The amount of individualism that was stripped out of the game in a good way for the team, for us, has just made us exceptionally better. And I go back to the videos that we're starting to get some visibility to from our photographer, and I'm watching like a completely different team than I'm used to seeing. I'm seeing a team that goes down bodies and manages to come back and whip the living shit out of the team after being down bodies, or just literally rolling over a team with exceptional body placement, exceptional field awareness, just great plays. And again, all roads lead back to Lehman. When it comes to this, the head coach, he doesn't take enough credit, and I have no problem giving it to him where it's due. And he's been a big part of the success for this team in the past year. What was it now, 2-3 years? Lehman, you've been with us?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, not including your old pro days with Lockout, but yeah. So and looking forward to 2025, man. Or it's season. I thank God ICPL released their schedule. So for the listeners who are on here, we thought ICPL might be toast, because as soon as we showed up to Tiki's, they're literally fire sailing anything that had ICPL on it. Every T-shirt, every hoodie, every tank top they had, $5. Every freaking thing they had that was ICPL. So I'm like, yeah, no, ICPL's done. They're just going to roll all this into the NXL. So I think it was really cool to see. I don't know who those decision makers are, whether Tom Cole's involved in that or not, but it's cool to see that they're bringing that league back, especially now that we put so much effort into the league. It would suck for it to just go away.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we finally got where we wanted to. Hey, bye, deuces. Like,
yeah.
So, but there's something specific that I really want to touch on here before we move on, because I think our situation was quite unique at the end of the weekend, where after the games were played, and those were some hard fought games on the 10 man, and for some reason we thought we didn't make it, and then to find out, literally, people were packing up and be like, "All right, we tried, good job." There was a frustration, the whatever, and the la la, but all right, back to the grind.
Yeah, I was talking to Manny about this on Saturday when I saw him at the Ref and Winter League. We went through like all the stages of emotion. We were like, oh, we're sad. All right, we're congratulating each other. We're getting over it. Like we didn't do that bad. We still made it to the next round. Good job. Like all right, let's have a beer. All right, now everybody's like, okay, we're good. Wait, what? We're in? What are you talking about? Wait a minute. Let me go check this out. Go over to the stand. Yell at you guys like we're in. Like what the hell? I don't even know what to do, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I want to
Turns
give
out though the reason was because they put fake scores in between games so people can't see it or can't predict it. I don't know really the reason why they do that, but they do that. And then the other reason was because they were playing pros and AMs on that same field, and there was a pro smoke team and a pro and an AM brimstone team, and they were both in there. And I saw the smoke team play, which I thought was the brimstone team, so I thought that was their first game. Their first game didn't happen until us.
I want to give credit where credit's due because I was there. Kirk, thank God for Kirk, and also for Heenan, and somebody else. I think was it from
And,
the All
And
A's.
Jared Ledoux,
Jared Ledoux
from from Upstate Avalanche.
of
Shout out to him.
Avalanche. Yeah, thank you, Jared. They were kind of the ones, but I'm sitting there. It's just anecdotally a funny story. So we're out, right? We're all sitting around. I'm super bummed. Everybody's super bummed. We're cracking beers, drinking. We think it's over. We probably finished fourth or fifth, and Kirk will not let up. And I can see Kirk's like, no, there's no guys. Like he's trying to argue with Lehman. This is we made it, and Lehman's like, no, look at the score. So we're all looking at the scores, and I agreed with Lehman. I'm like, yeah, the scores, we didn't make it. And so Kirk was like, oh, okay. And you could see he kind of felt like he didn't get the answer he wanted. And then magically we were in it. And God, I mean, what a rash of emotions, right? I mean, from crying about losing, literally as a 40, I'm not ashamed to admit, as a 44-year-old man, I was crying about missing finals by what looked like 4 points. To holy shit, is this actually happening? When we started getting wind of it and everybody starts breaking out their shit, and I'm over there filling up my air, right? And it's the end of the day, so there's only like 7 teams left out of 40 some odd that were there, so there's nobody, so you can hear everything. And all I hear in the background is "Let's go, Lockout!" and it's Lehman screaming because we're getting ready to go play the finals, and it was just this overwhelming feeling of like, holy crap, man! One of our goals for this year was to podium in a national event.
Mm-hmm.
And there it was, just like that. Went from being snatched away from us to being, here we are now, ready to play for first place, right? It wasn't just, hey, we're going to get third. We were ready and able to play for first place. And we probably could have had a good chance to take it.
There were some opportunities.
Yeah, there definitely were.
It was there. It's in our grasp. We're close, gentlemen.
Very, very, very close. Like I said, one of those things that I would say was earned, because I'm not trying to throw shade at any other team, but there's some teams that they bring in pros and they do this and they do that and to get to where they are. And that's what works for you, that works for you. But as being a member of the team, and this was my first year with the team and learning the mechanicals and whatever, and obviously I played with you before, Lima, but this team definitely worked for this. This team grew together, learned together. I can attest to the fact that when, other than just the coaches, players will help each other get better. You know what I mean, or grow together. So, and that's beautiful to see, because sometimes it's a me first type of sport. You know what I mean? So that is refreshing to see on a general level. It's widespread in this team. And this is the first team that I've actually been on in a while that has a big family atmosphere. Does everybody get along? Fuck no. You know what I mean? But there's a great family atmosphere, and I think that has helped get this team where it's at. Would you guys agree or disagree?
No, absolutely, absolutely. This has been by far my most family oriented team. And when I originally joined when I joined this lockout, they made me laughed more than any group that's I've ever played paintball with. Felt like they brought the fun back to paintball because I was always very competitive, and I love being competitive. But they brought the fun back in it to me a little bit, and I thank them for that. This is an amazing group of people. I think so. I think this group, family oriented, its family background definitely helps it become more and more.
It's all hand-picked guys, right? I mean, you think about it. We've got people we've grown up from rec players in a short
Hmm.
period of time to old field rats to, former damn near semi-pro players to, I mean, everything under the sun that plays on this team, but they all, and it's so cliche to say, but they all play for that name on the front, right? Nobody gives a shit what the name on the back is. Everyone on this team bleeds black and red for this team. It's so cool. It's heartbreaking, but it's so cool to reflect back at the emotional side of things when we miss something or something doesn't go right. Like the team gets down on themselves and sad, truly sad about it, but we always manage to pick ourselves back up. This event, typically when we come out on a Sunday, we're soft, we're a little slow. Our first game was a little bit, but I feel like we could have won that. And then we came out and fucking rolled
Yeah,
smoke in the second game on Sunday, which, another, all sorts of little accomplishments and then huge accomplishment, obviously, at the end of that event. But it's just so cool as being, we're all three of us are some of the older gentlemen on the squad, if you will. So it's awesome watching these young kids grow.
yeah, that's
Guys like Alex, watching Alex go from, a balls deep player to, our prime snake player now. I mean, I take that kid over just about anybody that I know that's a snake player. It's amazing how far he's come. So it's just really cool to see that from a standpoint of being a fan of the game and watching people progress in their paintball career, if you will.
Speaking of fan of the game, this is one of my next questions coming down the tape hop. And I always got my guy here watching my back, so you can't come get me. You talked about feedback earlier, and also wearing that lockout on the chest and what that represents. What? So this is a two-part question. What has the feedback been from like the OG lockout players since and how do you feel about the comparisons sometimes that people have to the OG lockout? Like, yeah, they're not really lockout because they're lockouts. But no, but so first off, what's the feedback been from the OGs, and then the second part of that question?
Go ahead, Lee.
I would say most of the people that I've talked to have been congratulating us. They've been really impressed that I've talked to. I've heard from, I know, but Buddy used to be an OG lockout player. I heard from him personally, congratulating us. Who else? Big John reached out to me and said, congratulations, an OG lockout player. I haven't heard from any of the really old lockout players, the ones that probably more people remember than the ones that I was on. But I haven't heard from them. But I also don't talk to them that often either. What was the other part of the question? Sorry.
Like, how do you feel about sometimes the comparisons to the OG lockout? Like, do you think it's fair, or do you not feel like, hey, this is kudos to those guys, but we're our own thing right now. We don't really want to be compared to those guys. Like, I don't know.
That's actually a really good question because I mean I think we actually talked a little bit about this at the event. We talked about the reputation that Lockout had and how we wanted to bring that back and how we wanted to represent. That was originally this Lockout's idea was to bring back that name and put respect back on that name because it hadn't been used in a long time and there hasn't really been a team that used that name for a long, long time. But I think it was a little bit more now that we've done it ourselves and we see that we can do it ourselves. I think it's becoming more like you mentioned later that this is a new lockout. This is our lockout. This is a different beast.
What about you, Maddie?
Yeah, just to kind of parrot and echo some of the things Lehman said. The outpouring of support has been huge. Some of the, specifically some of the older lockout guys are guys that used to play on it. I mean, shit, Devanzo used to play on old lockout if you want to go back to certain time frames. But, Rob Cole, like I've talked to Rob, obviously, an old guy, he was pretty proud of us. I heard that the Wenchoff brothers heard about it and were pretty impressed with it. So you might start seeing some of those guys coming out of the woodwork now that things are good. It always happens. Believe me, if Luke and Dan ever wanted to come back and play paintball, we would probably welcome them back into the fold. They'd have to cut their teeth like everyone else. But anyone who knew or watched those guys, who grew up watching those guys, or heard stories, two of the most dynamic paintballers. But also, as Lehman said, it's a new lockout, right? So we spent a lot of our first formative years of this team kind of riding that train, if you will, of let's bring back lockout, and being really proud to wear lockout on our chest and feeling like we're part of this team that we all grew up watching and admiring. But I think we've kind of, I don't want to say veered off course, but we've kind of paved our own path, right? So now it, like Lehman used the perfect term, the new lockout. It's not the old lockout. It can't be. It never will be. The game fundamentally is tremendously different than it was 15, 20, 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When you think back to the late 90s, 10-man was a completely different game. Anybody who's listening, who's never seen it, or go back and watch some of those old videos that, Will Rock's always throwing up, or any of those trauma head things. The game was significantly different back then. So it's really hard to draw any comparisons. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination saying we're as good as lockout used to be, blah blah blah. It's just two totally different eras. So we're just doing what we can to make a name for ourselves as lockout. Do we embrace and understand and support our legacy as understanding that, there's tremendous history behind this name? Absolutely. We take none of that for granted. I still remember to this day when I got my first lockout with my jersey with my name on it. I mean, that might have been one of the coolest days of my life in paintball. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. I mean, we were a shitty X-ball team at the time. I mean, I wasn't even close to the same kind of stuff, but it was just that feeling. So it's another thing that's really cool to kind of pass on to people. They see it as a big win. And also it's what we're building as far as, I don't want to say locally, but as far as a name for the area. I don't want to say we're the most respected team in the area, but we're probably the most well-known, well-put-together team.
You can say we're the most respected. Don't
in Western New York and Central New York, probably right now, right? So, 30 plus some odd guys and gals on this team. It's a good system. There's some great things coming for, and so things are only going to get better for the program, if you will. But as far as the old lockout goes, I'm not saying let's put that to rest, but it's a different day, it's a different lockout, and we pave our own path from here, and it's a pathway to success that was homegrown. We had a lot of help from some of the older guys, Buddy, Rob, all those guys that have been around to help us get to here.
Absolutely.
But the hard work, I always like to think of it this way: hard work speaks for itself. A lot of hard work to get here.
True that. All right, next question coming out of Tape Hot. Let's talk about equipment. And I've had a few people say to me, even at the last event, that we have an advantage because we shoot the DSRs. So let's talk about the DSRs, guys. How you personally feel about the DSRs and how that has played out over for the team this year. How has that partnership worked out, and how can we look forward to more fire gats in the future?
Who's jealous of our DSRs? I want to know.
Everyone should be.
I've heard at least two people at the last event said something to me just because you shoot those DSRs. Which I would say this because if you remember in Dallas, everybody was fucking up in Dallas. Everybody was having issues except us. So just saying.
True.
All right, but go ahead.
I love the DSRs that I shoot. Actually, I love them so much. I bought two of them. I don't even shoot a team gun. I shoot my own team guns that are engraved with lockout. So I obviously love the DSR. I think it's right now the best shooting mech gun that you could get. Honestly, I've shot quite a few of them, and I think it really is the best mech gun you could shoot out of the box. Put the reflow parts in it, and it's ready.
Okay, what about you, man?
I got to say, I've been a die fan my whole paintball career, always a fanboy, if you will. But damn, for a long time, PE was pulling at my heartstrings for a long time. My CS2, that was the gun. That was my gun forever. The EMAC, when the EMAC came out, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever when it came out. And kind of ignored die for a little bit until we signed our deal with Free Flow last year. And boy, what a turnaround, and just an immediate love fest back to understanding why Dye is, the number one gun manufacturer on the planet for a reason. There's a reason they've been around for so long. And then you add free flow to an already awesome platform, the DSR Plus. I mean, just to have a trigger shoe, an autococker trigger shoe back on the gun, to me it's just like, oh my God, this is like coming in your pants every time you shoot your gun because it feels like you're shooting a cocker, but not, right? I mean, it's the best thing ever.
It's a good analogy.
You just wrap your fingers around this. It's like, oh, it's an autococker. It's great. So yeah, super tons of love for Dye this year, and it's great to see them, giving us some love back. Big shout out, obviously, to them and to Buddy and Free Flow for supporting us this year, having the foresight and the taking a chance on us, like they did. They supported us big time this year, and I think anybody on this team would tell you, I'm going to shoot my DSR until Dye comes out with something better.
I definitely endorse that. Definitely. All right. Next question coming on tape hot. Mike, I want you as a coach to name your top 3 practice drills to help improve a player. And when you're running these drills, what are you looking for specifically?
I'd say the top 3 that I would use if I'm like trying to figure out a player and like their skill level. I'd do a snap shooting drill. I'd be checking out their form, seeing if they're rushing through it or not, if they're actually doing the drill and actually taking the time to do the drill, and not just run through it, and trying to hit the target as many times as they can. I want to see if they're using the form, the entire time. I personally would like someone to slow down a little bit, get the form down, be nice and smooth on their shots. Second drill I would probably do I've actually picked up from one of the BKI school drills. I believe I got it off of was the telephone drill where we have 5 players across the field. We don't even have our gun. Well, we can have our gun if we want. Doesn't matter. We're not shooting paint. And you start on one side of the field, and that player calls out a code. Player to his right calls out that code plus another code. Next player does their code plus the other two's code, going and so forth across the field till you get to the 5th one. Once you get to the 5th one, it's all got to come back across the field to the first person. And what I'm looking for there is to see if the person can take the time to comprehend all that information, because it is a lot of information. But as we all know, 10 man is really all about gathering information, being able to put it all together. So I'm looking for someone, that can really put that comprehension in there. And that's something that's more of it's a tough thing to work on as a captain, and tough drill or tough skill to improve. It's more of something that the person's really got to work on themselves. They could do something at home, where they have a friend or somebody say some codes to them while they're doing some snap shooting drills, and then do it again, have them repeat it, and make sure that they, add more to it each time. Challenge yourself to know more information in your head and then let it out, rather than just one at a time, going over your teammate's voice. That way, you're not covering someone else's voice with your commands and taking in all the information and waiting. That'd be the second drill. And third drill, it's always checking a player out, trying to see if they what they had. I'd probably run like a 2-on-2 on one side, like a jousting drill, like kind of like a jousting drill of the 50. See how well they communicate with their teammates, how well they put people in and go. Because that's another thing that's always kind of lacking in players. I noticed it's just, a lot of players like to shoot their guns and they get caught in the moment of shooting their guns and they don't want to go forward right away. So I'm looking for someone to do that. That would be a good drill to find out if someone's got it.
Those are cool. All right, so Maddie, as a player and now being on the Lehman system, what drill do you love the most and which one do you hate the most?
I hate the most the telephone one.
Me too. I hate that one the most too.
That one's tough, especially if you're that guy that needs to remember everything.
Oh my God.
Coming over, that's a tough one, and it's a difficult one to replicate what your body's experience. I think physically and mentally when you're in the moment of a game, to just talking to each other across the field. And what I hate about it, as much as I hate about it, I also love it. So it's kind of like both for me. I love it because it really truly helps you bring yourself down to talk on the field rather than scream. It's always my biggest thing. Now, I have a very projecting voice, I guess, if you will. You know, Lehman and I both know, we both came home from Florida with absolutely zero voice. Lehman, literally zero.
Feel like he can barely speak.
Yeah, so it's so sometimes it helps to just know that you don't have to scream at the top of your lungs when you're just standing right next to somebody. And it's cool to see that in the videos. Obviously, I'm starting to see that when people are just kind of having a conversation amongst three people. Sometimes you got to scream if you got to get it across the field. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing, or if it's important enough. But when you're a group of 3 or 4, 10 man, usually like your 3 sectors or whatever, you can have just a normal conversation with people. So it's beneficial that way, but from a standpoint of helping you slow that down communication wise. But the drill itself sucks.
Okay.
Because if you forget something, you look like such an ass. And then Lehman's just like, start it over again. Nope, let's go. Start it over again.
All right. And which one do you love the most?
Personally, I like anything that has to do, any drill that helps me with movement, forward diving, sliding, that kind of thing, belly sliding. Usually most of my job involves that. So I've been trying to work a little bit here and there on left-handed because, obviously a right-handed shot. Sometimes you need to be coming in on your left hand to come up to be shooting left-handed. So those are kind of things that are kind of cool to work on. They're hard because you can fucking hurt yourself. I remember last practice, which has been a while now, but last practice I tried a few times left hand and I ate my tank like 3 or 4 times. Where with my right hand, it's second nature. It's just go, put it down and go. And when you're trying to do it, your left is like, yeah.
Baby dinosaurs.
Yeah, you'll pull a Levi in New York who knocked like 2 of his freaking teeth out a couple years ago doing it. Nothing against Levi, just it happens sometimes.
Yeah, no, it happens. I've seen a few people knock themselves out. I've seen
Yeah.
people mess their faces all up with things.
No. All right, next question down the tape, hot, real quick. Both of you, hot, real. I want quick answers. Favorite event of the year and least favorite of the year that we've done this year.
Just this year?
Yeah, this is a favorite and least favorite of the year. Lehman.
Least favorite? Okay, go ahead.
You go first, Manny.
Texas, least favorite.
Texas?
Texas sucked. It was a quagmire, a fucking little mud fest, even though we played pretty well. It was kind of the mud was a great equalizer. Best event, obviously the Classic Cup. I mean, second place, how could you beat that?
Okay. All right, what about you, Lehman?
I'd agree with the best place. Definitely the best place was Classic Cup, and I love Texas personally. I love the airball field. The airball field was amazing. I hope they put more airball fields in the future. Shout out to ICPL. You should do that.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, that
you did kind of
that's
suck.
the worst one.
It did. Listen, I personally feel if the conditions were different, it would have been a whole different story with us on that airball field. I'm not saying that we didn't play well, but I'm thinking if it wasn't like, Parker was waist deep in mud.
Parker was everything.
Like Lake Erie.
Mud. Parker was mud.
No, it was. Well, yeah. Well, I use the term water loosely. I think there was cow shit and a bunch of other things in there. And I remember playing behind Parker, and I'm like, please don't die, motherfucker, because I don't want to feel behind you.
Well, shit. How many? I mean, we all personally know like 5 or 6 people that came back from that event with staph infections and all sorts of blood infections, skin infections.
Yeah.
That event sucked.
I'm good on Texas. Thank you very much.
Yeah, stop it. ICPL, please stop putting events in Texas in May.
Yes.
It rains in Texas in May. All of May. Stop it, please.
Yeah.
All the time.
Please.
Every year.
Seagulls, stop it now.
All right, next question, and then we're gonna head to commercial shortly, guys. What's your favorite post paintball? What's your favorite place to go eat post paintball? Like after an event, you know what? Let's just go, guys. Let's do this. What's your favorite place to go eat as a team after an event?
The house. Pizza at the house. Honestly, pizza at the house.
I would agree. That is our favorite place to eat.
I like everyone being together. It's the easiest way to get everybody together. It's the cheapest way. Everybody can kind of wind down. We don't have to worry about people being out too late or doing whatever. I don't know, just as it's kind of the Papa Bear side of me. Like, I just want everybody back in the house so that, because we've got, it's a different day with lockout because the nights are not necessarily free to the players like they used to be.
I've heard stories. I think, like I said, this is only my first year, but I've heard stories. It's a night and day different.
It's night and day. Yeah, I mean, there's team meetings. There's a lot of stuff that happens. There's preparation. We're even thinking about instituting some further rules for the house. It's the seriousness level, and just even if it's pizza or whatever, or if when the girls cook, that's awesome. What fucking Adrian? Actually, honestly, let me take that back. When Adrian is there, and Adrian is cooking, that is the best.
That's the best meal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is the
absolutely.
best
He's
meal.
right. He's right.
But anything back at the house to me.
Okay, I would concur. Like I've had some of my most memorable memories this year. I've been meals back at house. I mean, Orlando, the spicy chicken and rice.
Even the goulash, like the goulash that the gals cooked up. Dude, 2 days in a row was awesome. Right? That was killer. That was an easy thing. That was super good.
Mama Bear and Randy be doing that thing too. All right. Before we go to commercial, guys, what any big news? What are the team plans for 2025 that you want to share with our guests? What can we look forward to for lockout changes? What do we got? What can we drop for the peoples?
Yeah, actually, we could talk about it a little bit. We're looking to expand a little bit and possibly looking at some different formats this coming up here. Right, well, this year it is now. It's just weird for me because I'm still used to this whole the ICPL Classic Cup that just ended, or season just ended, but I'm already in the years. But no, there's definitely opportunities coming up. I think players should should keep their eyes open and check it out. See what's for them, and if you think it's for them, come on over. Let's get something going. I want to see the community grow. I think that's what the admin and I have been talking about a lot on the whole lockout side, and like Manny mentioned, the program side of lockout. We really just want to see the community grow. We want to see more opportunities for players to play. I don't know. Personally, I think there's just not a lot of opportunities for newer players to get on a team. I see a lot of newer teams trying to form rather than the players getting on teams that are already established. So I think it'd be good for players to have a little bit of backing and see where they can go.
Exciting. How do you feel about all these things coming up, Matty? As an OG.
I hate using that term. I've just been on the team for a while. I'm not OG. It's cool. Like Lehman said, we've got guys on the squad and guys that probably would like to be part of the squad or some kind of a program that like other formats other than 10-man. Us old fucks, I just want to shoot mechanical. Like I don't even. Most of my my electronic guns, the batteries are dead, or they don't have batteries, or I've converted them to mechanical. That's what I like to play, but I realize that not everybody in the world likes that. X-ball is a much more intense, much more athletic. It's a younger man's game type of thing. So that's kind of exciting to see that we might be jumping into that. And with Upstate Action Park, I think that's the correct name of it. John will kill me if it's not. With them opening and kind of now being an outlet for X-ball, which we kind of lost when GRC went away. And honestly, with just both Rob and Kenny, or Kenny and Kyle and Kenny, I just kind of wanted to not have anything to do with airball because it's expensive, it's time consuming, it's not really worth the time investment. It's good to see another place open up that people can kind of feed that need, and it's cool that we can do that for some of the guys that are on the squad now that still like to play, like El Capitan here. Old man still likes to play X ball. I hate it, but he still loves it. And several other guys too. Gavin, I know you still like to play X ball as well. Never been my thing, but that's cool to see that. I think we're going to do another year with All Out, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think we just decided that in the last couple of days. So All Out's going to be our main field sponsor, along with Upstate as well, for the X ball side of things. So that's really exciting. We signed a new sponsor with the glove deal, a new glove company. So ATG, Maxiflex, all hail the mighty Maxiflex.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is the exact same glove you buy at Home Depot that everyone works with. It is the exact same thing. We put it to the test.
So good.
We put it to the test in Florida. It was awesome. So we'll still be flexing with our awesome hand protection like we were for the past couple of years. But no, it's honestly, again, it's really cool to see the team go from a throw together. And, I still like to say, fuck John Hamilton, forever tossing this on to me. And then thank you to Lehman for for taking the reins as well as you did. So, yeah, that's 2025 is going to be awesome for us.
There you go. Here's the 2025. Cheers. Love it. Love all the great things today. All right. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. And we're gonna head to commercial. I've taken a lot of shots at you guys. We've got a lot of information on how the 2024 has been for the team, for the franchise. We've got great news of what's coming and what Lockout is building. I'm excited as a first year player to be a part of it, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen moving forward. I'm old as fuck, but I'm gonna try to go as much as I can till the wheels fall off. So we're gonna head to commercial. When we come back, the tables are gonna turn as they do in life and in paintball, and you each get to take a shot at me. And because my guy who was watching my tape, unfortunately, Lehman or Maddie, one of you guys dinked him, so he's gone. So you each get a shot. I'm trapped in the corner, coming down. Let's go to commercial. Come back. Refill your beverages. Join us back on the flip side. Order 66 Lara, Season 6, Episode 3 of Mitako and Maddie P and Mike Lehman from Team Lockout. Let's go. All right, guys. We got to give a shout out to our sponsors real quick. I want to talk about Lavina Paintball. Lavina Paintball is located in Tucson, Louisiana. Eamon and Laura Parcells will run a great field there. You've got speedball, you've got woodsball, you've got scenario facilities. So make sure you check them out at lavinapaintball.com. We also want to shout out AAA Paintball Park. They're exclusive distributor of Order 66 apparel. They're the only other place other than Lavina Paintball they can get Order 66 apparel on site. They are closed for the season, but they reopen in the spring. So make sure you check out AAAPaintballPark.com. They have a lot of free speedball facilities there. They have woodsball and snare facilities, so check them out as well. I want to give a shout out to our subscribers. Whether you listen to us on Spotify, Apple, whatever it is, thank you guys. Like I said, it's our 6th season. We could not do it without you, so really appreciate you. Keep dropping your comments, reviews on our episodes. Let us know what you think. One new thing we're doing this year is our most commented and reviewed episode will go into our Classics YouTube channel. Everyone in those classic channels is going to get a cool Order 66 memorabilia, whoever those guests were, and that's going to be a huge thing at the end of the year. So a little change up that we're doing just to expand the podcast a little bit. So we're going to have most viewed episodes. It's going to go to our YouTube classic channel, so make sure you subscribe to the YouTube classic channel. Those guests are going to get something cool to represent, some swag. And in the year, we're going to have a big champion. So make sure, let us know what you think about that, and drop a review. So, click clack, we're back, guys. Like I said, I've been taking a lot of shots at Mike Lehman, coach and captain, and Maddie P, admin player. Welcome back, guys. Like I said before, cheers to a wonderful season. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, guys. So, let's say you switched up on us.
Yeah. This podcast is brought to you by Modelo.
Okay.
The number one selling beer in the country, by the way. Now, thank you, Bud Light, for fucking up, because Modelo is so much better.
You know, I'm a Heineken man, but I don't mind a Modelo. You know what I mean?
Oh, you know I'm your Heineken brethren.
Yes.
I just don't have any in the fridge right now.
All right, so like I said, guys, the tables have turned, and now Mike and Maddie P have my guy's gone. They're gonna come down the table. Somebody's gonna bunker the shit out of me. So click clack. Who's coming first? And watch your first shot.
I'm coming at you. Oh, you're coming at him? All right, you got him.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna go bunker his ass then.
Okay, take it.
Gavin, so you asked me about my coaching and what I would do in my coaching, and you talked about how you thought my coaching helped like I turn around a bit, and you know, see yourself. What did you personally think about my coaching and like what's going on with the lockout? And you've seen it change over the last season.
Well, that's a good question.
Be careful. You may never end up on a roster spot again if you don't say the right thing here.
What's that?
You may never end up on a roster spot if you don't say the right thing here. Be careful.
Listen, I just work, and if the work gets me on, the work gets me.
How's my coaching? Fabulous. It's fantastic. You're the best coach ever. It truly is.
This is my first year, as I said before, and this is not my first season playing with you. I played with you, I think, 3 times before. I played with you the USPA with Ruthless. I think I played with you with a couple other times, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. You've always, between you, I've always said this, and I always give people their flowers when it's time to give them their flowers. Justin Bryce and Andrew Hale are the most generous with sharing information, sharing knowledge, helping people grow as a player. With that being said, now with you as a coach, seeing it, you've taken that and you've applied it with Lockout, where I see everybody has grown. I see that the practice, the attention to detail has grown. Even with myself, I've become overly critical of myself. I have also tried, and also you've brought in other people where you've decided now, where I think more so than before, you've taken on other people to help, and that has helped. You brought on Kevin.
Yeah.
I think having somebody else to bounce ideas off has been huge to help with everyone. I think that's been huge. Even you've taken on nutritional stuff. You brought in people that can talk about, how you want to take care of your bodies. We've had the different channels. The different channels, I think, has been huge. Like you can tap into different things, like with the drills. So here's a challenge for drills. Like, hey guys, if you need to work on X, Y, Z, boop, 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 so you can out, and it's easy to go back to and refer to. So I think those things have, for me personally, has really helped, and I think it's helped everyone individually as well. That would be my answer to that.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you're taking advantage of it, and I'm glad you're taking something from it. That's good to hear. Awesome.
They always say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but it's tough, but it's not.
Trust. I've learned some things. I've learned some things this past season by myself, by other players, how to deal with players. It's a learning process for me too, but I enjoy it. So
God bless you, because
keep
you
doing it.
know what I call it? I call it, and no disrespect to anyone, I call it either the closest thing to babysitting and cat herding.
Cat herding is really good.
And way less dildos too. Isn't it like raw time? We're in the latter part of the podcast, right? Less people are listening, so we can talk about dildos now.
All right, good. All right, good. So answer your question sufficiently, sir. You got me. You got me in the back of the mask or the pop pack. Knowing you, it's probably not a pop pack.
No, no.
You're gonna wear it.
Gonna be in there.
It got me in the neck. All right, Maddie, click like. What you got?
So now that you're part of Lockout, let's keep this whole podcast about Lockout. You know all of our players personally, individually. You've played with some of them. You've played with a lot of them. Who would you say on the roster is the most improved player for 2024?
Oh, you gonna put me on the spot like that, bro?
That's a good question.
That's man. See, I think I
Now
love.
you know what it's like to be me.
Is that so?
Now you know what it's like to be me.
It's tough, man, because I think a lot of people. I've seen a growth in a lot of people, and I mean, and but I can say personally, from what I've seen, and everybody's gonna think I play favorites, you know what I mean? Because he's my little nigga, and yes, I use that word too, term loosely, and I know it shocked the house many a time. Like, did he just? I think I called you a nigga. And I was but but to answer your question, Alex, I think Alex has really grown from the first time. I think the first time I met Alex, we are playing against him in the Winter League. I don't know if he was on Balls Deep or one of those teams. And he come and dug me out of the middle. Like I was literally, I like to be in the middle, chopping the field in half, doing my thing. And he came and he ran me down. And he bunkered me ear to asshole. I'm like, you little motherfucker. But I always liked that about him. He was always aggressive, and everything. But there's always like a little wild variable that you never knew. You know what I mean? But I think from the start, from his first event, I think his first event was POC.
Yep.
With us, where he played a 5-man with me and a bunch of other guys and whatever, and he was also the alternate on the 10-man team. He had some really bright sparks there and whatever, but to see his growth even from then, and even at practices, people be telling him things, Hoopty took him under his wing, and this little Batman and Robin thing, and other people gave him little tidbits and whatever, and like, hey, work on this, work on that. And even me as his back guy playing with him, because I can say this personally from his back guy, hey, Alex, like, I think one of you alluded to earlier, having that conversation. Hey, Alex, I'm watching your tape. Hey, you look. Lehman just told me that there's a D2. Can you look inside? Can you see that D2? Hey, yeah, Gavin, I got you. Yep, I can see the D2. All right, shoot that motherfucker. All right, boop, boop, boop. And he would still process that information and still be able to and do it. And then, all right, now you shot him. All right, boop. We'd have our code to move up, and he'd move up, and we'd do what he got. So I can see from that aspect as well, where I think Alex really has gone into what he did at this past event, where he won us a lot of fucking points. Like literally won us a lot. There was one point in particular, we're on the Mounds field. He was moving down the side. He shot one motherfucker, And then the other dude was running down the tape on the other side. Nobody else saw him. He was like, oh, hell no. He ran back, got that motherfucker, then came back to his previous position, went over the top of the hill, shot that bitch, and then ran the. I'm like, did I just see what I thought I just saw? That just didn't seem real to me. I'm like, first of all, you know, one of those moments you're like, no, don't do that. Oh shit, it worked. Okay, yeah, go back. You know, it was awesome. It was like awesome to see. So the NCAA was, I think, Alex has grown the most, but a lot of other players, I wanted to say, as a team, I think, did grow each and every event that we played and each and every practice. A lot of people put in a lot of time. A lot of people make a lot of sacrifice. I know.
Absolutely.
Specifically, that dude went through some shit. You know what I mean? And when every time bleeds red for the team, a lot of people, a lot of people. But I'd say Alex.
Good answer.
That's good. Yeah, I agree. That's a good answer.
So yeah. All right. Pick clock. I'm off. I'm bunker. I know you definitely didn't shoot me in the pack. You went for the neck too, didn't you, asshole?
Oh, nice. I'll shoot you in the pack. I like you.
You shot me in the face one time. I remember that.
That happens.
All right.
That's why you're wearing a mask.
All right. So hey, we're fresh out of time. Thank you once again, Mike. Thank you once again, Maddie, for joining us.
Thank you.
Congratulations as a team, as a franchise. I'm glad to be a part of it. Team Lockout 2024. A lot of things were checked off the checklist, but like I say a lot of time, job's not done. On to the next one. You know, we look forward to 2025 and what we do as a team moving forward in the season and the new things that are coming. Real quick, guys, listen, a lot going on at order66paintball.com, so let's wrap it up here and get us out of here. Join our subscriber club. That's where you can get monthly savings that switch up every month. That's where you go to order66paintball.com, sign up right there for subscriber club savings. Right now, we're having a BOGO sale on our barrel bags. That's where you buy one, you get 150% off with the code BOGO Club at checkout. So make sure you check that out. Tag us in your pics and videos repping Order 66 Paintball, whether you're on the field or off the field. You stand a chance to win a $25 gift card to our shops. We've actually got a bunch of great entries for last month, and that voting wraps up today. We'll have a new winner. Seems to me if you're rocking the Order 66 beanie, you're gonna win. That seems to the last 3 months we had Mama Bear and Randy. We got Aaron last month. We had I don't remember who it was before, but it seems like beanies are winning. So just put it out there. If you get yourself a beanie, you might win a gift card. Just put it out there. What else we got? New stuff coming in the shops. We just got some new fabric in. New denims are gonna drop soon. You know how we do. Don't sleep with that. Thank you. To everyone's
mask stickers.
That's how you get a mask sticker. You get that. You get those exclusively with a denim headband. So unless you're Matty P, who has exclusive rights to, I think he has the most.
I might
mask stickers on record. I think
I might. Yeah.
Last I checked, he has that record. So
I have it on masks I don't even fucking wear anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 masks I don't even wear. Push masks and dye masks. I'll have Order 66. Need more of those.
How do you get one, guys? Get a headband. That's how you get one.
Don't call me. No, don't call me. Don't call me. I don't have them.
All right. What else we got? I think that's about it. So keep repping Order 66. Tag us in your pics and videos. Like I said, guys, thank you for your support. Appreciate you. We've been doing this for 10 years now, and we could not do without your support. Thank you. Lehman, I'll let you do for us as a team. Oh, look at that. Oh, my man. Hold on. We doing that? That's what we doing before we get out of here. Hold on. That's what we doing?
I can't really see before my camera. That's pretty
out
cool.
of here. We're doing it proper. We're doing it proper. We're going to get out of here. Team Lockout, let's go, bitches. And for you haters, suck it. Keep it in your mouth. Hey, God bless you guys. 66, God bless you. Cheers. We out. Don't sleep. Peace.